And what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Codex's Comic Character of the Week. I am your host, Jamie. With me, as always, we have the one, the only, the fairy slab master himself, Sal the Slab Guy.
Couldn't even get that out with it.
How many nicknames you going to give me, Jamie? So,
All of
guys,
them.
you can check me out on Sal's Comic Corner on YouTube. Thank you, Dan. And on Instagram is the Slab Guy 77.
We have the artist and artist, I guess, double entendre, Dan Kelly.
You can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art. I post art and music a few times a week. Yep, right there. Haven't posted any music recently, but I'm going to next week and gonna post some art, like the pencils on this Ghost Rider commission that I just finished today. And then we'll be posting that, and then the inks, and then the colors when it's finished. So check it out. And then we got this guy right over here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Kevin. I created a group over on Facebook called Comic Character of the Day, where we go over a different character, cover, artwork, comedy, questions, news, anything and everything related to this geekery that we all love and hold near and dear to our hearts. And we would love for you to come over, check it out, and potentially, if you are particularly lucky, win some free comics when we do our giveaway at 500 members. We're so close. We just need a little bit of extra push to get us to where we need to be. And we would love to have you be the ones to help us get there. And with that, Jamie.
Would make a great Christmas. Free comic.
There you go. And with that,
That's true.
Jamie, take us on home. Let's finish this up and go and call it a night already. Come on, man. Do it.
Yes. Once again, guys, if you have not had the chance yet, go check out the codexstation.com, your one-stop shop for everything Code X related. Meet the team, get some merch, talk to us, let us know what's going on. All of our socials are on there too, so there's no reason you can't find us. Like, share, subscribe, or comment for any matter. We are close or getting closer on YouTube to our 1,000 subscribers, and I think we're going to be doing a giveaway for 1,000. If anything,
Nice.
I'm thinking maybe Comixology or gift cards, something. Maybe I could work something out with a certain comic company too that we work and collab with. Sale. Who are they?
We got some friends over at Heroscornercomics. If you go check out their site and use the code codex, CODEX, no hyphen, you can save 20% off the entire site. Now they've got back issues, they've got slabs, they've got variants, they've got exclusives, they've got everything. You can even set up pull lists with these guys. These guys are awesome. They're very good. They package very well, and they're great to communicate with. I highly recommend them.
Yes, we all do. I'm pretty sure at this point we've all bought something from them, and you will see more about them in the middle of today's episode. So stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's get into this comic character of the week. And this week we have the infamous, the famous, the notorious, the nisses of Dr. Doom.
Hell yeah.
Thanks. So Dr. Doom first appeared all the way back in July 1962 in Fantastic Four number 5. That's right. There were 4 issues of Fantastic Four before he showed up. He was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. His origin, real quick, was he was basically a gypsy in this country called Latveria. He grew up fighting against the rulers of the country who treated them unfairly. He was a genius at technology. Became a student at Empire State University, where he met Reed Richards and Ben Grimm and developed his lifelong hatred for them. Was part of an experiment that disfigured him, and he was expelled. Traveled the world, was trained by Tibetan monks, where he forged his armor. He went back home to his country, led a revolution to overthrow the government, and became the dictator of it, and started attacking the Fantastic Four and other heroes. As far as powers, he's got, one of the smartest guys in the Marvel Universe. He blends his science and his technology, where he's about on par with Reed Richards, but he also has sorcery and mysticism like Doctor Strange that he blends in and makes him a pretty formidable opponent. And there's some which leads to some pretty cool scenarios for the character. What do you have to say about that, Kevin?
Well, for me, I think the way Doctor Doom works best is, I think the best way. I love the way when Doctor Doom is written in a way where the only way he's able to be defeated is by his own hubris. Like anything else, like I got everything handled. I'm no magic. I'm master of technology. Nobody can mess with me. But his own arrogance is the thing that causes him to stumble and fall on his face time after time after time. I love that. That's just the embodiment of how his ultimate downfall time and time again. It's his own. He can't get out of his own way, and I think that's why I love when they write him that way. And the other way that I really like it when they with the character is when they focus upon his like, I don't need anybody or anything. I am sovereign unto myself. I will not tolerate any weakness from anybody, including myself. But I will put myself in harm's way. I will jeopardize my own success if there's even the smallest possibility of rescuing my mother from hell. Like in the comics, Doctor Doom's mother, I don't remember the circumstances behind it, but she ended up, I think she was a witch, and that's why she ending up in Mephisto's realm. And it's kind of a running trope with Doctor Doom is that he wants to get his mother out from underneath Mephisto's thumb, and he'll go to the ends of the earth time and time again in order to rescue his own mother. And that's, anybody who loves, his mom, like that's the one time where they actually show Doctor Doom having any kind of heart whatsoever. And that's, I think, something that I appreciate when they explore that aspect of the character. So Slab Guy, what do you got, man? What do you think? How do you like him? How do you like him served up?
So for him, what I think works best for him, and this is one of the things, it kind of leads to his arrogance, but he wants power because he deserves it. He wants it because he's the one that can wield it. He's the one that is capable of making its best use. That's what works for me. And part of what I also like about him is his character growing. You think, oh my God, this guy's a tyrant. He rules his country with an iron fist. But he's actually doing what's right for his people. And he is trying to rescue his mother out of hell, like you said. And the Fantastic Four doesn't really see the side, or you really don't see the side of him until maybe a little bit later on, and you think he's just a tyrant. Even Spider-Man calls him a tyrant of his people because nobody knows, or nobody really knows, the extent of what he does. So what works best, I really think what works best for him is that he feels like he deserves that power, ultimate power, because he feels he's the best one for it. What about you, Dan?
He's the only one that can properly wield it.
Yeah, properly wield it. Exactly. Yeah. What about you, Dan? What you got?
Yeah, pretty much along the same lines. He's somebody that could be the most formidable person that anybody fights, and the only way he ever loses really is because of his own arrogance. If it wasn't for that, he would be victorious so many times, but it's his refusal. Just like the accident at Empire State University that disfigured him and got him expelled. Reed Richards, looks at the experiment, says, "Oh, well, your numbers are off here," and he's like, "You couldn't possibly understand this." And then it turns out he was right. And he just can't acknowledge that anything he could do would be wrong. And if he just had that little bit of, humility added in, it would, that would be the thing that would drive him over the edge to be pretty much unstoppable. But even with all that and the way the rest of the world sees him as this tyrant and this villain, like the people of his country love him because he took over the country and he fixed everything and made it like a paradise to live in. Nobody wants for anything. He like the only thing that he asked in return is that they all be subservient to him, which you would think, well, that's terrible, but the people of the country love him because they see what the country was like without him. And they're like, yeah, we'll follow him. We'll call him Master Doom because he's made our lives a paradise. So he does, he does care for his country and his people in that way. But and what you were saying about his mother, I believe it was that the gypsy tribe they were in, where they were being hunted by the then government of Latveria when he was a kid. I think she made a deal with the devil to give them victory over the opponent, something like that. And it ended up being that like everybody in the town died, like in the one town died, but it was like even the children. And then, they hunted her down and killed her. I don't remember the exact details, but it was kind of something along those.
That sounds right.
She made a deal.
He's been like fighting to get her out of hell. So that's where he gets the mysticism, sorcery side of himself, and then the technology side he got just because he's a genius. So
it was. It was
Astonishing.
Astonishing Tales number 8, I believe, where we got a little more detail. She actually sold her soul to Mephisto, or the devil at the time, to give her people a deserving homeland, and that's why she ended up there.
But yeah, so like between the technology and mysticism, there's not really anybody else that that's kind of a unique niche that he has. It's usually one or the other, and I think that's what makes him a cool character too. What about you, Jamie?
Absolutely.
Well, I love all your guys' like how you guys are on the same page, and I'm gonna kind of fit in with this one, but I'm gonna say it a little bit differently.
He's got to be different.
I'm gonna say it in a way that Kevin will understand. Okay.
Okay. All right.
When your ego can't fit through the door, is when Doom is the best. When he is on his game and he literally is just like, who? Reed Richards?
Yeah.
I love when he refers to himself in the third person all the time too.
Oh, I love that. I do love that. Doom does not do that.
For you.
Yes, and anytime he's in that realm, when that's like the personification of Doom. Like if you read anything with him where he's not doing that, you're writing him wrong.
Yeah.
To me, like if he does not think the ground he walks on, you are unworthy to walk that same path. That's the Doom you need.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
But obviously with these scenarios come those badass moments in his character's whole existence throughout comics. And Sal, what do you got for us on that one?
For badass moments, I've got 3 of them that really stand out for me.
Okay.
And I'll do the first one. The first one was maybe a 2-issue one in Uncanny X-Men, but it was 145, and you'll see the cover of it. He just trashes the X-Men. He traps them all in traps that they have to work or think their way out of, just to see if they can prove themselves worthy, and also to prove that he can capture them at any time. So the cover is pretty awesome. He's got the X-Men laid out. He's got Storm in his arms, like unconscious. He's holding a mug up like this, like proclaiming victory type thing. But that was just one of my badass moments for him. Of course, my next one is going to be Secret Wars, the original, where he actually takes the Beyonder's power. So if you all remember the Secret Wars, the original one, the Beyonder gathered all the villains and all the heroes, put them on a planet, and said, "Duke it out." And of course, he's like, "All right, well, this is beneath me. I don't need to fight all these guys. I want that power. I'm gonna get that power from you." So he does eventually get that power, and the first thing he does is he fixes his face. He fixes all his disfigurement, and Captain America realizes, like, okay, that's his downfall right there. But the very fact that he can take over the Beyonder's powers and control that situation, badass moment, badass series to begin with. And my last one is Fantastic Four issue number 611. He had become God at this point, or became God Doom at one point, and he's talking about it like it was in the past. He's like, I was God at one point, and I found it to be beneath me, and that was just that panel was just classic Doom right there.
Yeah.
So that's what I have
yeah.
for my badass moments. So
Absolutely.
Wake, who's next? Dan, you got badass moments as well for us?
Yeah, I got a few of them, and
Hit
there's
us.
certainly been a lot with this character. I'll echo the one you said about the first Secret Wars, where but it was even more than the Beyonder's powers. He stole Galactus's powers
Yeah, that's
so
true.
so that he could get power enough to fight the Beyonder, and then use that to beat the Beyonder and steal his power. And
Right.
you know, like if there ended up being someone above the Beyonder, he would have been like, you know what, I'm taking him too. Like you know, that was just it's just, you know, it's my, and like you said, it goes to his arrogance of, I deserve this power because no one is worthy of it except for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
The second one I got is I think it was in the Hickman Secret Wars series, when he's fighting all the bad guys and he goes up against Thanos and he just rips his spine out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, that, you know, anybody that's read comics or seen any of the Marvel movies knows like Thanos is one of the big time bads, and so that's a pretty big deal there. And then the other one I got is when he actually tried to be a good guy in Infamous Iron Man and decided, you know, Stark had died after Civil War II, and Doom had the epiphany. He was like, I'm going to be a good guy. I'm going to fix everything, and I'm going to atone for all my wrongs, and decide that he's going to be the new Iron Man. But he does it in typical Doom fashion, where he grates on everybody's nerves, and he decides, I'm just going to take out the bad guys. And at first, it's just like one after another. He takes a couple of them out, and then all these guys get together, and they're trying to figure out, how are we going to, like, Doom's gone good. Like, how are we going to stop him? And he busts in and just takes them all out. Like nothing. You know, like there's almost no effort into it. And I mean, that's just, you know, it makes you see too, like, this guy is badass enough that if he really did decide to be a good guy, he'd wipe out villainy so quick.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
what about you, Kev? What made you?
I got three as well, and my three are, and once again, I'm not sure which issue this was, but I remember reading back in the day, when Doom is forging the mask, the famous metal faceplate that he's known for, and they're like, okay, we'll get it, we'll cool it down, we'll get it ready for you, and Doom is so like. Has such courage of his convictions that he's like, I don't need to wait, and he takes the burning hot liquid red metal and sears it on his face right then and there, permanently attaching it to his skin, and then he's screaming, running, and dives into a snowbank, that's the word, and sizzles and cools it down that way. But I mean, it's like, that is sick that he's willing to be like, no, I'm good. I'll put like the pain is unimaginable. I can't even imagine. And like, you guys got to go with Secret Wars, where he goes up against the Beyonder. Now, one of the things, I mean, we all have that one, but one of the things that they did not mention is in, I think it was Secret Wars number 10, they show the Beyonder just destroying Doom, like in the process of absorbing the power. He's losing his arms, his legs, he's being disintegrated. They show his entire body being just eradicated. It is really gruesome and graphic and disgusting. And he's just like, yeah, that's all part of the process. I got this, no worries. And just sick. And number one for me is the continuation of that storyline in the Secret Wars, the second Secret Wars from 2015, where he gets all that power back, and he's like, yes, I had the power of the Beyonder at one point, and I let it go. I learned my lesson from that, and he goes on to conquer the world. No. That's child's play. That's too easy. That I do better than that with his arrogance. Doom goes on to conquer the multiverse. Every world, every planet, every iteration of everything. Doom's like, mine. That's ridiculous. That's so next level of anything that they've done for any character before, since before that. It was amazing. That was one of the coolest things I've read, like ever. How about you there, James?
Oh, me?
James.
Yeah, I was like, who the James?
He's being official.
I was trying to do like a cutesy nickname, and it ended up being like a full official other real different name, and it didn't quite work for me there.
This is the second time in a week someone's called me James, and I'm
really?
Like, why?
So
like,
to use James as a cutesy nickname.
Yeah, right.
I tried it out, and it didn't work out for me.
Like, hey, Pokey Boo Boo James, how you doing?
Can we circle back to Doom, please?
This is my eternal doom. Getting
cute nicknames from Kevin.
Yeah. No, that's just the cherry on the top.
I'm sorry, sweetie.
It's okay, babe. So I have for Doom the time he sacrificed himself in Marvel Zombies. I thought that that was like my first real introduction to Doom at that point was in Marvel Zombies. But seeing him be the guy, like kind of like that Iron Man at the beginning, where in the Avengers, where it's like you're not the type of guy to lay down, on a grenade for your guys. That reminded me of that instance, and I thought that was amazing. From Marvel 2-in-1, from the Thing and the Human Torch is kind of what you guys went on. Is the time he became Galactus, he ate the entire universe.
Yeah.
Again. And then my last one is actually more recent, and it was maybe 3 panels of Doom, and that's it. And that's from Judgment Day number 5, when the Celestial that was judging everybody went to Doom and was like, here's your test. You have to admit that Reed Richards is smarter than you. And he looked at him and he goes, Reed Richards? Smarter than me? I don't care about your test anymore. This is stupid. And walked away.
That's great.
That to me is just like, that shows the arrogance of that character, that ego of the character. Like, just to look at a god and be like, if you think that's going to happen, kill me.
Yeah. I also like to break the rules and throw one more in as an honorable mention. I can't remember what book or issue or even storyline it's from, but it was one where Doom is like in the snowy wilderness, naked, and gets attacked by a lion. He fights the lion barehanded.
That's the ultimate.
And then uses it to make a new suit for himself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't remember what the book or the storyline or anything is, but it's like, all right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right.
Well, with that, as much as they have so many... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're good.
So as much as they have... Doom has so many cool, badass moments, and he's such a hardcore, next-level character. There's never any character that can't be critiqued in some way or shape or form. And with that, if you don't mind, I would like to say the one thing that really bothers me about Doom is what was mentioned earlier. It drives me nuts when he refers to himself in the third person all the time. I can't stand that.
I love it.
I love it.
Oh, no, it's so bad. Doom is going to make himself a bologna sandwich. Like, okay, when is he showing up? Wait, you mean you? You're the one that's saying that you, but you said himself. Okay, you know what? Stop. Just stop. I can't. No.
Doom doesn't make his own sandwich. Doom has some lackey that makes a sandwich.
Right, but it's like Doom is going to go to the bathroom. Like, just do it, man. You don't have to announce it. Stop. It's so annoying. Can't stand that.
And how does he go to the bathroom in that armor? Come on, man.
Exactly.
Same way the
Doom
astronaut
has
do?
people to help him undo. Like, I don't want to know. Just stop.
He's a master of technology and mysticism. He probably just transports it out of his body before it happens.
Doom lifts his skirt. Come on, no, stop. I don't care. I don't.
Oh my God, this is taking a turn. This is worse than the James thing.
Kevin has gone bye-bye.
Yes. Kevin is no longer with the team.
All right, good night, folks. That's the thing that annoys me. I'm already done. I can't even continue talking.
All right, Sal.
All right.
What do you think, bud?
Let's break this back on track.
All right, please, yes.
So what I don't like, or what I don't think works well for him, is a lot of times he's just written off as a tyrant. Boom, done. Oh, you're a tyrant. We're not going to investigate to see if that's true. We're not going to take a look. We're not even going to talk to you. You're a tyrant. That's it. And so I think there's a lot of I want to say miscommunication between him and just the regular other superhero groups, just in general. They don't want to find out. He doesn't want to tell them because he's just that arrogant. So he immediately gets written off as a tyrant, and that's it. So I don't like that. But I do like the way he's referred to himself as Doom, third person all the time.
So
Got to say that. Dan, what do you got for us?
Kevin, Doom does not appreciate your insolence.
I would rather him kill me for my insolence and listen to him do an entire speech with his.
Doom will not kill you. He'll have someone kill you for him.
The only criticism I have, and it's nothing that has really happened with him in a long time, but it was more so, old Marvel, where occasionally it was written where he's just, it's kind of two things. One, where he is written as just generic, I want to take over the world supervillain, and that's just kind of it, where that's just his motivation of, I'm going to take over the world. I think it worked best when he has specific goals, like the betterment of his country, or his hatred for Richards, or trying to save his mother, or something like that, other than just, like I said, just generic, I want to rule the world guy. And whenever and again, I don't think it's anything they've done in a while, but whenever they have him team up with somebody and they have to, and he's on equal footing with him, because I don't see him as somebody that's going to work well with others. He's someone that in any situation is one of those ones that's just going to take control and is going to demand that everyone follow him.
Right.
Like the
specials. It's something that they've done recently, but it's like some of the older Marvel stuff where they would kind of get into that. Yeah. What about you, Jamie?
You're referring to the times where he teamed up with Iron Man and he teamed up with Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Not so much the Doctor Strange one, because of the way that story, kind of played out. Yeah. But there was when Marvel used to do those Marvel graphic novels, which they should really bring that back. But there was an Avengers one. There was an Avengers one. It was like Emperor Doom or something Doom, where they went against Doom. And if you read that, it's just kind of that generic, oh, I'm the bad guy that's going to take over the world, like the Claw and Inspector Gadget type of thing.
Right. That's fair.
But yeah. So what do you got, Jamie?
So when it comes to Doom, it's the way I see it is we had this discussion a little bit back when we did Batman, how he's always prepped, and we had that episode cover where it's like he's always got everything ready. He's always got a plan for a plan. When Doom doesn't, it makes the writing sloppy for me. It makes the storytelling horrible. This guy literally has everything worked out to a T in his mind. Once you take that away, you took away about 90% of Doom.
Okay.
To me. You can't have Doom and him not be ready to go and be like, I was ready for this about 6 months ago. Where were you guys?
Yeah.
You know, oh, there's a God that's trying to judge everybody right now. Well, if he's going to judge me, we're going to figure this out one way or another. But I kind of was, I knew this was going to happen. Like, y'all are stupid. You guys are inferior to Doom.
Yes.
But when you have it played like that, it just, there's no way. Like, his intelligence is just too advanced for everybody else to even understand. So to have him not be ready for any altercation, any instance, any problem that may be set like in front of him, you really don't have a character anymore. Then we just got a normal, hey, let's throw a villain in here, like flavor of the week to me. So
yeah.
But I was gonna say, with that being said, we do have coming up some of our best covers. But if you love covers, is a place you can go to that we've talked about before. And we'll be showing you
Do they have covers
right now, and it's going to explain. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Everyone, if you're anything like me, you love comics, but you also love a good deal. And our friends over at Heroes Corner Comics have just the deal for you. From exclusives to back issues, graded slabs, current issues, and even set up a subscription with them. And all you have to do is use the keyword codex at checkout. That's CODEX, and you will save 20% store-wide. So don't miss out. Yes, and thank you again to our friends over at Heroes Corner Comics for everything they've done for us so far, especially, helping us out getting some of those variants we want, some of those back issues that we need.
Awesome.
Guys, you guys are amazing. Thank you.
1 through 75 of Lucifer.
Yeah, 1 through 75 of Lucifer. Sorry, Kev.
Rub my nose in it, man.
Oh, it's gonna be. But
every chance we get, every chance, Doom laughs at your lack of will to get the series.
At your failures.
Yep.
Stop
it. So, Sale, let's start off with you, buddy.
All right, for must-read stories, or covers. I'm sorry, covers. We're doing covers. Boom. So, Dr. Doom #7. Just looking at this cover alone, like, shows like his, I want to say arrogance, but his presence mostly. He's standing there. He's above it all. He's catching the bird. He's standing on top of his enemies, and there's nobody else, that looks like that could oppose him. And having the gun on the hip, classic Doom. Just perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect to me. Middle one here, we got Iron Man #150, which will relate to my stories. I love this cover because of the battle between the metal men. I like to think of it as, and to me, that's just a awesome cover. And then last but not least is my X-Men 145. Which I described earlier. He's standing over top of the X-Men. He's got Storm passed out in his arm. He's holding up the mug, proclaiming like a victory type situation in this book. This was an excellent story and an excellent cover.
It is.
All right. Next up, we have Dan.
All right. So the first one, yeah. So the first one is Dr. Doom #1. It's the Mike Deodato 1 in 10 variant. I just, it looks like it would be just like a really awesome poster to have on your wall, but it's got the castles there, which whenever they show Latveria, it's definitely designed like an older Eastern European country with the castle and stuff. So it's got him standing there, just kind of arms crossed, the cape blowing in the wind, just standing over there, just saying like, this is my place. Come on, I dare you. Like, it's just an awesome badass pose. The middle one, like Sal, I had Uncanny X-Men 145 because, like you said, great story, great cover. This was from from back in the day with like late 70s, early 80s with Marvel, where it wasn't as common for villains to cross over. Like, so if you saw a Fantastic Four villain in an X-Men book, you're like, hey, this is something different. But yeah, he's just got like all the X-Men beaten there, just kind of holding Storm. The way he is, holding up his chalice, like, yep, I beat them. I got her. I'm taking a drink. Whatever. I'm the man. And then the final one, I got Secret Wars 10, which is just, we talked about that. Some of us as a badass moment for him when he stole the Beyonder's powers and became God. And, like Kevin was saying, the Beyonder just tore him up before he got the powers. So this is kind of showing that he's, that he's torn up, but he's still taking care of business. And just a classic looking cover, a great Mike Zeck cover.
Yeah.
All right. And Kevin?
All right. I got the issue, like the bloodshot eyes and the scar tissue around his eyes for Fantastic Four #1 variant cover. It shows, like, usually they don't get that much detail in his beneath the mask. I chose this one because he just looks like mean mugging everybody through the famous mask, and that's so neat. I thought that was a really good detail to focus on. I thought that was amazing. And then we mentioned earlier there was a time where Victor Von Doom took over for Iron Man, and this is the cover #3 of Infamous Iron Man, and he has the wearing the armor that he wore as Iron Man, and he has the Doctor Doom mask in his hands, and it's all kind of cracked and shredded, showing his transition from the bad guy to the good guy, I guess, is the term that he wants to portray there. It's still, even when he was a good guy, he wasn't a particularly likable dude. And the last cover I have is, once again, like everybody's, Secret Wars #10. And yes, we discussed the different aspects of that, where he's shredded and he's beaten and battered. But what I like to focus upon in this is just, obviously he's facing somebody who is omnipotent, and anybody else would be like, yeah, no, there's no way I can win. It's over. I'm dead. But he is in a position. He's posed in a way to suggest you can do what you want, but I will not yield. His arrogance, his sense of superiority is so acute that he will not admit defeat. He will not stand down. He shall not pass. It's just a really next level cover. I think it's beautiful, as do evidently 3 of the 4 of us. But for an alternate take on all of that, Jamie, what are your covers?
Ah, yes, my covers.
There we go.
So I've got the Fantastic Four 247. For some reason, and I can't tell you why, I feel like out of everybody's covers, I appreciate all of them, but this is the Doom that I want to see. Like, even in a mindset, Doom thinks he stands above the rest. And
Yeah.
with this cover, I feel like it just entices that feeling that Doom is just bigger, badder, and stronger than everybody around him.
Yeah.
Next up, I have Fantastic Four #25. This is the variant cover. And
That's beautiful.
To me, this is art germ, by the way. So, Sally, you don't have to look it up.
I love it.
I think this is the best Doom cover you could ask for. Like, it just looks, and just the feel of it is amazing. And lastly, from his very first solo series, I have the very first issue of Doctor Doom, and kind of like what Kevin was saying with his, you never really get to see anything under the mask. You kind of just see the eyes, or they black out, or they white it out. You have a little bit more texture. You have a little bit, more shading. You have a little bit more of everything in there. You can even see the lines in the eyes of almost like the bloodshotness, like you were describing in yours. And I think that's just perfect right there, for at least for me. So if you guys want to check these out, go ahead. We'll leave a description down in the description too of what we picked. So
one of the things I'd like to comment on your pick there, Jamie, for the first issue of Doctor Doom solo series there, is the lighting of the obviously he's on the right side is red light, and the way they portray the light on Doctor Doom's mask and
the contrast
and cowl is that's so beautiful. That's so neat.
Yeah, I was going to say
awesome.
something about it too, because if you look at just the line art and you take the colors out, like you'll notice the line art isn't, I mean, it's a cool picture, but it's not anything that's like incredibly detailed or anything like that. It looks cool, but it's really the colors that make it really pop.
It's the simplistic aspect of it that really makes it draw more than anything.
So nice. Yeah.
But as always, guys, within those covers is some cool stories. So we're going to get into some of our recommended readings for this. And Sal, kick us off, buddy.
Okay, so let's go with that actually should be Doom, Triumph, and Torment. I'll start off with that one. This one is the one where he teams up with Doctor Strange this is like a round 2 type of fight. Maybe I should probably put this second, but that's all right. He teams up with Doctor Strange to fight Mephisto to try to once again free his mother from the clutches of Mephisto. But it's an excellent story. I'm not going to give anything to it. I think you guys should read this because it really shows the sorcery aspect a lot, and I like that part of it. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Some call it witchcraft. There's dramatic pause, intended. That was from Astonishing Tales number 8. This was actually the first fight that he fought against Mephisto's warrior, Garak, the killer. But Doom is overwhelmed and easily defeated in this one. So losing out the first round to try to free his mother. I think that kind of like sets it up for the future stuff. So I like this story for that reason. And then the next one is the Doom Quest Chronicles, which is Iron Man Volume 1, number 149 and 150. This is it's not a great story, but I think it's a good story how he kind of teams up with Iron Man, but they go back in time, or they revisit time periods in the past and then coming forward. And I think the story was a good story to have. So I like I want to say the contrast, I guess, between Iron Man and Doctor Doom during this 2-issue series. So it's worthy to check out.
All right. Next up, we got Kevin.
Hey, guys. All right. My 3. I'm going to do it in a different order than what's right here. Infamous Iron Man. I think that's one where he takes over for, Tony Stark as Iron Man. And it's really a cool story to see him try to be a good guy and struggling against his instincts to be like, if I just wanted to and let myself go, I could take care of this so much more easily than I'm doing it now because, I'm letting what's right stand in the way of, and I'm using right and QWERTY fingers, stay in the way of getting the things done that I could get done if I didn't have to, step on my own feet in order to, do what I could do. Then we have the Books of Doom. It's basically the story of Dr. Doom, his rise and how he came to be who he is, and all of the origin story. Kind of a seminal take on the character. You got to read that if you are interested in learning more about the character. And I'm going to have a hard time not going into depth with with Unthinkable, which was from Fantastic Four number 67 to 70. It's a lot of different twists and turns and the things that he does. And, I've been reading comics for, 40 years, and I love it when I'm like, oh my God, I did not see that coming. And this one caught me completely off guard. I will do a little bit of a spoiler, not big, but there's a scene where he's walking by and he's not in the armor, and it's just him outside of everything, just looking like, not a supervillain. And this woman is walking by with a carriage, and this kid starts crying. And, the woman's trying to console the kid, and Doom is like, you must, be scared of my appearance because of the, scar on his face. And the woman's like, no, you don't understand. He's blind. So it's like the kid could sense his evil just emanating off of the dude without actually having to see his face. I'm like, okay, this right here, that you got me sold on the story. I gotta see where else this goes. And I'll tell you guys, the story really does not disappoint. One of the best Doom takes I've ever read. One of the best comics I've read. It's great. Highly recommend that one.
All right. And next up, we'll go with, Dan.
Hi. All right. So I got one that Sal had, and I got one that Kevin had. So the one that Sal had, I got is the Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, Triumph and Torment. That's from what I mentioned earlier. Marvel back in the 80s used to do this series called Marvel Graphic Novels, where they would release a kind of oversized story pretty fairly regularly. It had some really good ones in it. This is one of the better ones, where Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom team up to try and rescue Doom's mother from hell. There's other stuff that happens before it, but the stuff that happens before it leads to that, and it shows, not to give anything away, but it shows a lot of stuff with Doom for what his moral code is, and it definitely shows his arrogance in it, but also shows how skilled he is with the technology and with the sorcery, and really blends it together well in that. Like Kevin, I'll have to go with Books of Doom. It was a 6-issue miniseries that Ed Brubaker wrote that just kind of details his upbringing, like an extended origin story for him. So if he's a character that you're interested in knowing more about, that one is definitely a must read, because it really details his origin in a way that will help you understand him. And then the last one I have is Fantastic Four 246 and 247. It was a really great 2-part story where Doom at that point had lost control of Latveria, and he kind of tricks the Fantastic Four into taking him back to Latveria and helping him overthrow the guy that was in charge there, so that he can try and take over the country again. And the Fantastic Four is, they're kind of wondering like, well, we don't want to help you because you're our number one bad guy. But they also see how bad the country got, under the rule of the current person, based on what it was under Doom's rule. And it was a book that really, there was some issues that really showed that he is not just the dictator that the outside world perceives him to be. That, yeah, he might be evil in everyone else's eyes, but in the eyes of the people of his country, he's someone that they really love. And it was one of the first things I think that really dealt with that. And just a fantastic story, a great classic John Byrne story. So how about you, Jamie? I'm sure you have 3 completely different ones.
Yeah, as always. I do. So for my first pick, I have Secret Wars, the original. And the reason for that, it's just so iconic and so memorable. This is where you see Doom be Doom. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way around it. Just this is where you get the arrogance, the ego that can't fit through a doorway, the I am Doom, like make Doom a sandwich, Kevin, right now.
Yeah.
If I see mayo on it, Doom will kill you, I swear. So that is one
Please.
thing I would go towards if you want to see Doom for his first instance. Now,
Yeah.
next up, I have his first solo series, Doom, which was 2019. If you guys want a chance to learn a little bit more about it, we do have a review up for it on the Codex Station YouTube channel. Go check that out. But this is basically the personification of what Doom is. Dr. Doom, throughout this story, just you see every different aspect of him on how he's a ruler, not so much of a tyrant as Sal was alluding to earlier. There's just so many instances in the storyline that is great, and I think that you guys need to pick this one up and just definitely take a look at it.
Yeah.
Lastly, I have Fantastic Four, and you guys can pronounce this how you want, but I say 1, 2, 3, 4. I am a child, so I figure this out that way. This story is, to me, a Dr. Doom, Ben and Grimm team up against the rest of the Fantastic Four. It's a 4-issue miniseries, so with this one, you really don't feel like it's a quick read, but it's a worth your while read. Basically, how Dr. Doom turns Ben Grimm to fight the Fantastic Four, basically giving him the ability to have his human-like form back. And I don't want to put too much out there and give too many spoilers away, but this is one that I would suggest picking up if you want something that's only 4 issues.
Yeah. Excellent choices, gentlemen. Excellent choices, gentlemen. And you too, Sal. What?
Thank you.
I didn't see the back scratcher this time, Sal. It doesn't count. You got to reopen the door and close it again.
Sorry. I was trying to do it before the screen came back on.
Yeah, I didn't see you messing around, so. But yes. But as always,
Hey, behave.
With these stories,
Doom says behave.
Doom says behave.
Doom says Kevin no longer speak during this episode. Done. But with these stories come some great writers and artists, and we're going to give you guys some of our favorite to do it for the character. So, Dan, who do you got?
For me, I'm going to go writer and artist as the same guy. I'm going to say John Byrne.
Okay.
When, John Byrne is a comic legend, has some great runs on, just about, a lot of premier titles from Marvel and DC, but he had one of the best Fantastic Four runs ever where he was the writer and artist. And he's someone that I feel like really got, as far as the writing goes, really got to the core of Doom, where it's not just I hate Reed Richards and I'm going to destroy him in the Fantastic Four and I'm going to take over the world. But that's where it really got into the stuff about where you kind of saw his, his kind of code of honor. And, you realize like, okay, it might be twisted, but, he does have, his own code there. And you showed him ruling Latveria and showed how he really did care about the people there, even though the rest of the world saw him as this big villain. But to the people of Latveria, he was their hero. So it really, that's where his, I feel like his character really got expanded a lot more. And Byrne did multiple issues of Fantastic Four that were either Doom centric or, at least one that I know of that I remember reading that was completely focused on Dr. Doom, didn't have the Fantastic Four in it at all, because I felt like he really got that character. And then his art too. His art was just fantastic. And I feel like he found a way to blend the way that Jack Kirby drew Dr. Doom with his own style, where you could look at it and say, that's John Byrne art. But you can also look at it and say, Ooh, but that's definitely classic Kirby type of stuff too, especially the way that he drew his base plate and the hood with him. So
Mhm.
that's where I have to go for both of them.
Good answer. Good choice. Yeah.
Thank you. So what do you think, Kevin? What do you got?
Can't mess with perfection. I agree with you 100% on both artist and writer as John Byrne, but I will throw out an honorable mention for the art of Walt Simonson
Ooh, okay.
for his time as the artist in the Fantastic Four. But they're right about the same for me. But that's just me. Sal, how about you?
Well, I'm going to go out here and be, change it up on you guys a little bit. I'm going to go with artist as Jack Kirby. I mean, it's just the original take for me. When I picture Doom, I picture one of Kirby's drawings. I mean, that's how it is. And that's not a knock on anybody else's artwork whatsoever. That's just how I picture him, and I have to go with that. For best writer, I kind of got a tie, but I like the writing from the Triumph and Torment, which was Roger Stern and Mike Mignola. So I think they did a fantastic job with that. So I'll go with them as my best writer. What about you, Jamie?
Excellent.
All right. As for writer, I want to go with Brew Baker. I think he doesn't get enough credit for the work he's done. He's even said he doesn't get enough credit for work he's done, and he's 100% honest. And then there was a story that was going to be an honorable mention. It was that Black Panther Doomsday, or not Doomsday, Dr. Doom. And the artist for that was Scott George Eaton, and I loved his work on there. So that's going to be my artist for him.
I almost was going to say Jim Lee but he didn't draw him. For me, as great as it was, he didn't draw him long enough to really get on there. But it was a fantastic Doom that he did too.
Fantastic Four Doom.
Ooh.
Yeah, when they did
Doom allows it.
Doom says, "I'll allow it."
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes. But
so, Davey, one thing I want to actually say here really quick is, with your little Doomsday flub, I kind of went thought in my head between a fight between Doctor Doom and Doomsday.
Yeah, my little flub it always goes well.
It just clicks some wheels in my head like, ooh, that would be a pretty cool fight.
Don't worry, the wheel's spinning in mine, but the hamster's dead half the time. So
dead half the time?
Yeah, he resuscitates himself. He's like a magical Doctor Doom hamster that just can come back to life.
The warning does not allow that. Flashing, but the train's not coming.
Yeah, it's off time. Yeah, I guess if we had to pick one, I'd go with Doom on that one.
I'd say Doom too.
Kevin just nodding.
Kevin's just nodding. Doom wants to know your answer, Kevin.
The thing about Doomsday is, like, they've established that every time he dies, he can't die that same way again. So I would say Doom, but eventually, I think Doomsday would take it. But for the first 100 years of their war, I think it would be Doom.
Yeah. So after 100 years, when Dr. Doom is in a convalescence home in a wheelchair with an IV strapped to him, and Doomsday shows up and he's like, "You again?" God,
Doom's diaper needs changing.
It's like, I can't even go to the
bathroom.
Magic.
Doom poopy pants.
Let him do it at that point.
Oh, this is a great part to stop, I guess, for this episode. Once again, guys, thank you all for showing up. Thank you all who are watching weekly for this show. It means a lot to us. As always, I am your host, Jamie. With me, as always, we have the slab guy, Fairy, wall guy, corner thing, Sale.
Corner thing.
There we go. Guys, find me on Sal's Comic Corner on YouTube and the Slab Guy 77 on Instagram. Thank you, Dan.
And then we got Dan, the artist formerly known as Kelly Art.
Yeah, you can find me at Dan Kelly Art on Instagram. I post art and music a few times a week. Got some cool new stuff I'm going to be posting next week, so check it out. And then we got this guy right over here.
What's going on, guys? I'm Kev. I created a group over on Facebook. That's the one right there called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character, cover, question, humor, news, anything relevant to our love of the comic book medium. And once again, we're close to 500 members. And when we get to that point, we're going to be doing a comic book giveaway where you could get some free cool stuff if you enter when that time comes. We will announce it plenty of time for you to jump up on it and get the opportunity to win. Love to have you come and check it out. Jamie, take us on home.
Yes. First off, Doom allows it. Go check out Comic Character of the Day, or Doom will massacre. But if you guys haven't yet, you know what I'm about to say, and I'm gonna say it every episode because I never get tired of saying it. But you get tired of hearing it, so you might as well do it. Go check out the codexstation.com. Your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Get your gear, talk to the team, meet the team. Everything we do social media wise is on there, so there's no reason for you to not like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever possibly you can do. We love you for it. So please keep it going. And as always, with everything that's been happening in this world, definitely be kind to one another out there. You never know what anyone's going through. Even making someone smile can change the course of their day or their life. And lastly, before I get out of here, we cancel this episode or get canceled in general. Go check out Heroes Corner Comics sale. What can they do to save some money?
Geez, you got to go to the site and you got to use the term codex with no hyphen, CODEX, and you'll save 20% off the entire site. Now, if you haven't heard me say this before, I'll say it again. They've got exclusives, they've got slabs, they've got variants, they've got back issues. You can even set up a pull list. These are great people. They run a great site. They got a great business going. Check them out. Support them.